By the way, we are very aware here at Rollware that this might be one of the first episodes that we've got that has some pretty serious international reach. This is just a disclaimer that we are a bunch of very Scottish people, including my bad self, and we swear like punctuation. So please do not be offended if you hear any curse words throughout the rest of this episode. Thank you.
Are we ready?
Are we?
To begin easily the single greatest episode of the
Fuck, are we recording
Roll
again?
It podcast,
Amazing.
episode 11.
You guys, have we got something for you?
Yeah.
You can probably tell by the title or how excited we've been on social media, but what the fuck?
You may hear an undercurrent of like a rhythmic beat. That's just Greg W's heart beginning to rescind itself back down the way.
It is.
Returning to an actual base level that is within the existence of normalcy.
First of all, how's it going, guys? I hope you're well. Did you do something with your hair? You look stunning today.
I mean, what can I say?
I am Connor Fallon. I'm one of the corners of Rollway. Directly to my left, who have I got?
The big man Greg C, the East Coast variant of Greg Squared.
He's on the ones and
I'm
twos.
back on the ones and twos.
West Coast variant next to Greg C. As always, you're executive producer of this podcast, Greg
And
W.
last but no means least, who have we got?
Laura, and I'm in pain.
Just Laura, she's in pain.
Ah.
Domine. Espiritu Sancti.
Amazing.
Yes.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Macarena.
Oh,
There we go.
We've turned it back into the next
man.
musical
I was
episode.
sitting
Oh,
there like,
Christ
we didn't
almighty.
have any music there, but okay, right.
Yeah.
That's
But
fine.
yes, today we've got something very, very special. We've got a fantastic guest who
Yeah.
maybe one or two of the community are familiar with.
There's
Some of
an
them might
outside
know.
chance.
Bit of an
yeah.
outlier, bit of
Yeah.
a kind of niche kind of person.
Yeah.
I'm of course talking hunters of shit. We've got the one, the only Beth May is our guest in the podcast today. You
Wait.
lucky people.
Wait. Give me space.
I'm fine,
Take a
I'm
deep
fine.
breath
He's
in.
all right.
Take a deep breath
We've
in.
been
Good.
worried about Greg. He's been having palpitations.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
Um,
we've got a doctor on call.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
I
suffering.
mean, my first aid ticket's run out, but
Yep.
I'll cover it.
It's
Yeah.
good.
It's
Yeah,
all good.
we'll get
It's all
there.
good. It's all good. I've stopped the stress. It's
The
fine.
stress is down, but your heart rate's still
No,
fleeing.
we're
I can feel it for here.
Basically, you can.
We're like
you
a
can-
shared conscience.
You can charge your phone off this country now.
Bear in mind
Genuinely.
that Beth is going to listen to this episode
Sorry,
more than likely.
I hope Beth
I
listens
mean,
to this. You can see Beth if you do listen to this. But by the way, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah,
Thank
appreciate
You
it.
will see
Well,
just how
legend.
much we've toned down the Scottishness for you as
Yeah.
well. Just we're a considerate bunch here at Roll.
We really are.
We don't want people to be like, "What the fuck are these
Yeah.
wildlings from north of the wall talking about?"
Yeah. Speaking of wildlings, does anyone have? I suppose we'll stick to our relevant
We
pattern.
might as well.
Does anyone have any
You
fails
need to
or
wait. You
successes?
need to wait for the good bit, right? It's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
It's
Let us
coming.
get our patter out first,
Uh-huh.
and then we'll get to the good stuff.
Aye.
I've got that one, and it's pretty horrifying.
Oh, here we go. Right,
Aye,
because you're in that
aye.
ones that are horrifying. So let's,
Generally,
let's
Yeah,
dive
this
into
one's
this now.
bad. Went out for a wee drink on Thursday.
Oh, that's nice.
That was very nice.
We're doing air quotes.
With some folk, and I did not eat any food.
Oh,
Laura, you're hollow.
dear.
The Laura classic.
Yeah. So I'm currently suffering from a sore throat induced by violently being sick for 5 hours straight.
If I can just
basically.
jump in, you were sick.
No, don't say that.
Are you sure?
In the taxi.
Yeah, Laura was sick in the taxi. Laura was sick in the Uber, which is what, 40 quid on the spot?
Yep, 40 quid on the spot.
50 quid.
50
Must know I liked
50
you.
quid.
50
Yeah.
bangers.
Connor, I'll ask you this question. Has Laura ever been sick in your car?
No.
And Camille.
No, if Laura was sick and Camille, now me and Laura, you might have heard, maybe the only thing you know about me and Laura, maybe you're one of just our lovely listeners, is from what you've picked up in the podcast. We're actually in a very loving relationship. We don't hate each other. I'm
We
just
eat
very
each
cool.
other. Connor's just a
However, the day that Laura is sick inside Camille, my beautiful 2019 Renault Captur, we are gonna need to have an encounter.
Now,
I know.
Greg C,
Yeah.
you don't drive, do you?
No.
No, so you don't have a car. You don't have a
No.
car. This is fantastic. Let me then ask Laura, have you ever been sick in my car?
Oh, that's right! Get up to me, Laura! Oh, that's brilliant! Oh, I forgot about that.
not your current car.
Not my car.
Good answer.
Car.
Not
Good
your-
answer.
not your
That
last
makes it better.
I know.
Oh.
My last car.
Was it your last
We're
car?
sick.
I forgot
All over
about
my
that.
last
Yeah,
car.
But to an extent, the story is relevant.
The story is relevant.
Says you that cousin can thought they shit themselves on Blue Moon because you
Right.
sat in somebody else's shit.
Okay, let's just get this straight.
Get
Guys,
yourself
Bear in
toned
mind,
down.
Beth
Listen.
May is going to be listening to this episode, guys.
sorry,
okay?
sorry, Beth May. Just to put this
Oh, none of
to
this.
put this to bed, I didn't shit myself. I thought I shit myself. I can still drink Blue
Can you
Moon.
put this out?
Everybody's putting this in the Discord as if it's going to trigger me. I could have a pint of it right now. It just reminds me of the time I didn't shit myself. That's it. There we go.
I saw it was a competition to win a Blue Moon
I seen that on
branded
Instagram.
baseball cap
Yeah,
on Instagram,
yeah.
and I was like,
I think we've all been
I
influenced by your pattern.
was very tempted to enter it, but then I was like, no, because I'm gonna get
Yeah.
bombarded with emails. But
Yeah, that would be
I
very
wish
funny.
I did. If it pops up again, I will. We should try and get a sponsorship with
Blue
Blue Moon.
Moon, get in
Blue Moon,
contact,
come and
sponsor
sponsor
us.
As the executive producer, I'll try and work on that. But yes, Laura
Beautiful.
has been sick in my vehicle
Yes.
once
Yeah.
before. It was a very traumatic time.
Moving on
Very
from
Moving on.
romantic.
So-
From Laura
yeah.
Chundran in
So,
people's vehicles.
Nat 1, right? I've had a Nat 1, right? And this is a mystery, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it, guys.
Let's go.
Scooby
Okay.
Gang, let's do
Scooby-Doo
it.
gang. We need this. So, with my
That's
ADHD...
the wrong franchise, Connor.
That's Pink Panther.
Pink Panther. Notably from Durham. That was my old orchestra teacher's favourite
Yes.
fucking joke. It was great.
It's one of the best. So as we know, with my
Anyway.
ADHD and my autism, right, I need coffee. I am fueled by
Caffeination.
It's
caffeine
a biological requirement.
to the
Yep.
stage that my boss decided to buy in a fancy machine
Hell yeah.
because I was spending too much time going all the way down to the lobby to get a really good coffee to then come back up. He was like, I could cut at least 45 minutes out of your day
Yeah.
if I put a good coffee machine in the
Yeah.
office.
That is
And
good
he
power
did.
from the boss, to be
That's
fair.
good chat.
Great
That
part,
was-
unbelievable, right? But everyone else has got their standard coffee cups. I've got a little bit of nerve damage, so I can't hold like a regular coffee mug. I need
Yeah.
like either a big one or the tumblers.
Oh, okay.
So I've got
Yeah,
a
yeah,
big travel tumbler. It's an R2D2 one.
Nice.
Left it in the office on Thursday.
Oh no.
Came in the day and it's missing.
It's packed.
Oh,
It's been packed.
no.
Somebody.
Oh, shit.
Robin bastard.
Exactly. So I'm going to get to the
Oh,
bottom of
shit.
it. I don't know if it's my colleagues playing silly buggers or if it's the cleaners accidentally put it somewhere. Searched high and low for it the day. No.
Mate.
I'm giving them one last chance and I've got missing posters already prepared, ready to go, get
Yeah.
printed out.
Wanted, did or did. Thieving coffee mug bastard.
It's literally,
Stevie.
have you seen this mug? Please return to the other
Stevie.
mug. Yes.
What are you going to do this time, Stevie? Cut your boss off and come back as your sister. Sorry, Beth.
I love it how we're apologising to Beth for every poor Scottish joke
I
that we
know,
make.
it's bad.
Great.
Right.
This is my new favourite part, and I think we should apologise to Beth on every episode.
Every
just,
episode.
All
we
the
should.
episodes.
Yeah.
But guys, right, we're hammering around too much.
What, can
Ladies
I
and gentlemen,
can I do mine?
do yours.
Well, I feel like Fallon always makes a joke that says that nobody ever has any Nat 1s apart from him, but
Okay.
I mean, my entire work day was a Nat 1, but
Oh, so it was.
Ooh.
What
Yeah.
about this? You were texting us earlier on.
yeah, so I mean, I'm going to get into it a little bit.
Did him to get battered?
Almost.
That's
I'm
some
not going to
that's
lie.
some restraint,
so
man. That's some restraint.
I hadn't even made it to work yet. I checked my work phone and seen there was a rogue email about an accident that happened over the weekend. So I obviously wasn't in, so they sent me an email because that's unfortunately part of my job. And I immediately just felt the red mist descend
Oh no.
because I was like, why is somebody touching the thing that literally says on the bottom of it, "Do not touch unless removed from mains."
Oh.
So that was me. I was already at like a 10 on the Frindge scale at 100 out of 20. I was like, mate, I'm ready for it. And then I get to work and it just gets worse. And then people start breaking stuff while I'm at work. So it gets worse. And then the peak, the thing that really sent me to the point where I'm like, I'm going to end somebody's day. There was a whole host of paperwork that was sitting on top of the printer and I got to move it and give myself an absolute belter of paper cut.
no.
Right on my middle finger, which is one of my main typing fingers.
It's always like when you have a day like that. It's the tiny little
Yeah,
thing at the end
it's
that
just
makes
a
it
straw
so
that breaks the
much
camel's
worse.
back.
Because,
Yeah.
like, I mean, do you know what that's like as well? It's like it's when you catch your belt loop.
Oh, and the door handle.
On the door handle.
Yeah.
I could like murder a small town when that happens to me. And it's a rage I can't quantify.
It's like
That's
being
shite, Greg.
absolutely buzzing for a drink when you get in the house and the fridge is died and it's warm. But you know where you can get a quality, freshly chilled pint?
Freshly chilled
right
pint.
here in Variety Bar,
Variety
Socket
Bar.
Hall Street, with such wonders as Delirium. Not that I've ever tried any because I don't drink.
Some
but
new Rebel IPA
Rebel on
from Tiny Rebel
Whoa.
upstairs is
Tiny
well
Rebel.
on the
up the Welsh
on the
contingent.
tap,
On the
exactly.
Tiny Rebel,
Interesting.
I actually, do you know what? Doesn't matter.
No, get into it.
I drank so much of their marshmallow porter, Stay
Oh,
Puft,
fuck.
Yeah.
For
that
goodness sake,
I
this is
thought
gonna be another one.
that
of
I
that.
thought I'd locked myself in my house. So they used to do it in. Do you remember the big brown glass bottles used to do?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Because Laura always
Wait,
used
was
to.
this during lockdown?
No, this I wish.
This was last week.
This wasn't even like this. I can't even back myself up being like, oh, it was lockdown. I was off my nut.
Yeah.
This was like
Because I know you were big into Tiny
I
Rebel
think
over lockdown.
my sister was in Korea, and I think Trisha and Hugh were in Turkey or wherever they were on
Yeah.
holidays. And when Tiny Rebel used to do booze in big brown bottles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this was pre-COVID.
This is like
Right,
2017. 2017, 2018, but maybe probably 2017 because me and you were still quite new as well, I believe, Laura. And I had a wee night off in the house, and it was one of those nights nobody's going to jump on the Xbox with the boys, get mad with
Yeah.
it, and I drank like 12 bottles of this like nearly 6% stout.
Incredible.
Went my bed, woke up.
Wet your bed.
Yeah,
Wet
wo-
his
yeah,
bed.
Went my bed, woke up dehydrated but still smashed.
Oh,
And
God.
I thought, I better lock the door. Because I've obviously fell asleep at 9 o'clock on a Friday night and, doors wide open.
Yeah, it's
I
pays
did the
that
stairs,
film. Yeah.
the door was locked. I'm like, that's fine, but where's the keys? So I went and checked the back door's locked. Went in, checked the patio door's locked. I'm like, okay. And could I find these keys? I'm like, that's fine, I'm locked in. So I went up and went back to my bed. But I was lying there like, no, hold on. Where are the keys?
Yeah.
Like every door's locked, and I was looking. I went in my dad's drawers. I'm looking where he keeps on tapping the fridge. I'm like, there's no the car keys are there. I'm like, where are the keys? Turns out, don't know why, in my madmate state, I'd went round and locked all the doors. Which is fair enough.
Yeah. Big
Uh,
up drunk Fallon.
But I'd put all the keys under one of the couch cushions. I found this 6 hours later.
yeah.
Like ripping the house
son.
apart. I just like, I don't what the fuck, just put them all under there. And I suppose that can make up for me having a Nat 1 free week for a change.
Add
Right.
another 5. Right. So
You've waited long enough.
Sorry.
have they? Have they really though?
They have.
You sure?
I've waited long enough.
Do they deserve it? Of course you do.
Yeah,
Because you're the
absolutely.
best wee community ever. Cheer. Do you know who doesn't
Yeah.
get a shout enough? Just the listeners. More than the listeners.
More listeners.
I'm not-
Yeah.
Fucking listeners.
Yes.
The folk that don't know they couldn't tell you what any of us look like about listening to our wee podcast and
Yeah.
use our class as well.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's do it. Had your wee. Shut it.
Right, okay.
Shut it.
Enjoy.
enjoy. All right, folks, grab your dice and your razor sharp business cards because today we have an absolute treat. She's a writer, a comedian, a poet, and a powerhouse of raw storytelling and energy. You may know her as the chaotic heart of Dungeons and Daddies, about to embark on her Edinburgh Frindge one-woman show, Beth Wants The D, the woman who can make you cry and laugh in the same sentence. Please welcome the one and only Beth May to the podcast.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh my God, what a wonderful and very kind intro. I love that.
Of course, well deserved.
And I didn't even have to pay you that much.
No,
Not
no.
much, it's fine.
It's once the check clears, that's when we'll release the episode.
Yeah.
It all kind of works out like that.
No
So, yeah.
bouncing.
So Beth, how have you been doing today? You've been doing good?
I've been good. Yeah, I know you guys are in the future, so to speak, but my day's kind of just getting started. I'm just on the second cup of coffee here. So.
As we always say, our catchphrase on here is time is time.
Time is time.
But yeah, completely understand. So Beth, yeah, you're about to embark on the Edinburgh Frindge. So you're doing the full shebang, the whole month in Edinburgh. Beth Wants The D. I know you just finished up your California run, and I've seen rave reviews of it. And now coming to Edinburgh, can you give us the elevator pitch of what kind of people are going to be seeing when they come to see your show?
For sure. So I've actually got one more show in Hollywood, so I hope that goes well. But my show is essentially a comedy about not killing yourself. And maybe you think, well, that doesn't sound very funny, Beth. That sounds pretty serious. And to be fair, it's a show about really serious moments in my life and some of the most kind of dire moments in my life, so to speak. But ultimately, it's a show about my journey, kind of being diagnosed with bipolar type 1, and from my first kind of psychotic episode when I was 19 to everything that got me to today. And yeah, I think it kind of puts you in the headspace to be frank, being kind of crazy, but kind of nuts, and how thin the veil between madness and sanity really is, and how it's tough to get back on the other side to sanity, but it's so worth it to keep fighting and trying. So, and all of that is funnier in the show. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh no, I completely get you as well, because I've been through some of my mental health problems and issues and things like that as well.
Safe to say, we've all
been there.
Our own certain trenches and what have you.
Exactly. And it's like, looking back at it, it's like when you're able to make the fun of it and just go, right, you can see the lighthearted side
Absolutely.
of it. It does kind of put things into perspective a little bit and things.
Yeah, that's what I'm relying on, it being kind of relatable, even though it's about my specific experiences. I do think that pretty much anybody could see themselves in it. So that's what I'm hoping for. So yeah.
Yeah. And then between obviously your show, you guys have just debuted on YouTube as well, that I'm Happy You're Here, which is focusing on mental health. Like, how important is it to be able to have shows like this that are able to open up that discussion and kind of take it out of the darkness a little bit, where it's like, it's better to talk about this than not talk about it?
What if I was like, it's not important?
Stick and move, keep going.
Very, very important. And I think it's like, there's something so isolating and lonely about having any problem with your brain, with your mind, with what feels like your soul. And to bring that out into the light and anytime you genuinely feel like you're not alone in a situation, I think it makes it a little easier to carry, a little less heavy and stuff like that. And so I think that anytime you're trying to make light of a situation without making fun of it, I think that's so important, because the world is a really hard place, and it's seemingly getting harder all the time. I think, stuff like that, it just kind of unites people, even through their sorrow and pain, etc.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, really well said. I mean, more for myself particularly, I really want to know, like, does performing like live or on a stage, does that affect like how you kind of perform in other ways? What you do, like your kind of podcasting or your kind of writing and stuff? Like, is that like a totally different sort of field, or is it relatively the sort of same way to kind of tackle it?
What I'll say about this, and I think it might expose some of my inexperience and kind of greenness, so to speak. I think that when I'm like writing or acting like on a set or in rehearsal or something, I feel like I feel less responsible for the final product, so to speak. Like it's definitely a chance to explore, to fail, to be wrong. And then when I'm doing the show, honestly, I have this wonderful director for Beth Wants The D, Riley Rose Critchlow, and they have absolutely encouraged me to explore and fail at every opportunity. But there is also this this kind of unspoken responsibility that you're ostensibly showing off the finished product, right? It's not necessarily a chance to really kind of be wrong about a choice. But I'm hoping that when I'm doing the show, like every day in Edinburgh, I will kind of like go back on that mindset, and I will, find more opportunities to play and explore and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because we always say it as well, like when obviously we've got people that we're helping into like TTRPGs and things like that. Therefore, it's like failure is better than succeeding sometimes.
Absolutely.
Like, and it's just you learn more from the mistakes than you do from everything going right all the time.
We talked this before. We always remember people like failing and sucking so bad at a game rather than people who succeed and do really well. Like,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But
yeah, I mean, Yoda got it right, I think. About
absolutely.
Pick up the wee green man.
The wee green man.
So you brought it up there about the Edinburgh show. I think me and Greg C were both there the last time you were in Edinburgh. And that was for the Dungeons and Daddies show, which I remember going off the rails incredibly quickly.
Like not like Mac 10, just 2 words, and we're like, yep, this is going somewhere.
Oh man.
Yeah. Are you expecting kind of like more of that coming through, like with the Edinburgh shows, because they are kind of notorious for going off the rails a little bit?
The Edinburgh show for Dungeons and Daddies I remember fondly. Craig and I have beef though.
Oh yeah, you do. Like this rivalry needs to get.
I'm super stoked to see the other shows there and see how crazy it gets. I've heard I've heard wild stuff.
The Fringe can get mental.
I don't know if I'm allowed to repeat this. I hope I am because
Let
it's
loose.
so
Repeat away.
wild.
Do it.
Yeah, we're not going to say
we've got a
there
bleep
was
button.
one show a couple of years ago where the audience was requested to spit in a bucket.
Oh
God.
no.
Yeah.
And the
I heard
bucket was
about that.
passed around,
Mhm.
and then the bucket accidentally got spilled on an audience member.
Yeah.
And like I would just walk into the sea, I think, if that happened.
no. Yeah.
I just have nothing but respect for the person that survived to tell that tale because
No.
that is truly
That is-
I can't fathom.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
you'd never see me again. That'd be it for me. Oh
I
my
would be
god.
like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you also have like the other side of it where last year you had Mary Elaine Robertson, who's a comedian from Shetland.
Yes.
Her entire show was about like the whole like sort of women's periods and stuff like that, and like the things that the women's bodies go through during that time. She kept a tracker of how many people fainted in the audience, and it hit like
That's right.
God.
it
Oh,
easily. She did the full run, and it easily hit like 20 plus.
Amazing.
Yikes.
It was
That's
phenomenal.
wild.
Yeah, but yeah, Edinburgh Fringe is just a different time entirely.
Yeah.
It's mad.
It's like an
I've-
alien planet.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Because my ex-flatmate, she was the stagehand for Kirsten Shaw's show at the Fringe, where she performed entirely in a birdcage suspended from the ceiling.
Yeah.
She did a stand-up comedy show, and she had to get turned to face the audience quite regularly, and
Yeah.
that was my flatmate's job, was to do that.
It's a cage rotator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fringe just gets crazy.
It
but
does.
yeah,
Amazing.
like,
Best.
so we're
Yeah,
kinda
I mean,
got
I
that.
like to think that my show has some like surprises and some fun stuff, but I don't know if I can compete with some of the crazy stuff going on here. So
no-
I don't know. Maybe
no-
if you
no
want
spit
a break
buckets.
from the pandemonium, come to my show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you are the antidote to the madness that the Scottish Edinburgh contingent bring.
Aye.
So Beth, we obviously Dungeons and Daddies it's become a nuclear thing. It's so incredible, and it's so good to see it gaining more and more in popularity as we go. How has the fan response shaped how you approach your role in the show, or does it not? Are you not really sort of phased by it as much?
This is a really good question because just to take a step back, like, I wasn't involved in anything like successful to even half of this level in my life until I was like 27 or 28. And so, a lot of my young adulthood was spent being in fandom, participating in fandom. I was writing the fan fictions. I was making the fan videos and stuff like that. And so to be on the other side of that is truly nuts. And it kind of, I'm also just very interested in like fandom, like, I don't know, sociology or whatever. Like, it fascinates me that we have these pockets of people that get excited about one thing, or maybe even get toxic about one thing and stuff like that. So I think, first of all, it's very flattering and kind of affirming as a whole. But I think the downside of being a little more popular as we've gone on is that you really can't pay attention to the like noise as much. And I hate to call it noise, but it's just like it used to be that, I mean, I have this screenshot of on my phone of this one really like awful review that somebody left really early in the show where it was like, everybody's amazing except for Beth.
Wow.
And I was never like hurt by it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of funny to like, I was like, okay, I know who you are.
You know when you've reached a certain
but,
level of success when you've got your first like direct hate comment.
Yeah.
A good way of
Yeah, I mean,
looking at
it was kind of an honor, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like I feel like the only fan that I'm performing for or I'm trying to please is like the fan inside me. So to
yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
So like who I was when I was participating more in fandom and stuff like that. And so you can't really listen to any singular voice, either positive or negative, other than your own. And that's hard because as a show goes on, you might be floundering for a season, or you might not be successful or something, and you have to kind of take a step back and be like, what's the most objective way through this? And it's definitely hard, and I'm navigating it like all the time. So I hope to be as graceful about it as like Freddie and the rest of the boys someday. But yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose that's kind of covered question 7 to an extent.
Little bit, but
Just a wee bit.
So I suppose that's the impact that being part of Dungeons and Daddies has had. But like being a comedy show that's also really quite heartfelt. What does that feel like? Because I think that's kind of what folk want. They don't want something that's just like dying of laughter for an hour and a half. They want something that kind of tugs on the heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah, I love that Dungeons and Daddies kind of like became this, and I give most of the credit to Anthony because I think that he feels similarly about like storytelling than I do, which is almost to give myself too much credit. But I think that we both feel that there's no like humor without a little bit of pathos and darkness, and you have to like you have to kind of dive down into the depths to get the release of humor. And one of my good friends has this saying that has resonated in everything that I do. And especially, I see the same thing when I wrote Beth Wants The D, is that you can only laugh so hard until you cry, and you can only cry so hard until you laugh. And that really resonates with me, and I kind of try to take it into everything that I do, because it's just more interesting if you have both for me.
Yeah,
that's the most Ron Stampler thing I think I've ever heard.
There we go. It was coming.
Yeah, it does sound like something.
It sounds very much like a Ronism, like with those.
It's lovely and hopeful.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. Because like I'm doing my re-listen just now, so I'm bang up to date, and then I restarted again and getting back into it. And I forgot how comedic Ron is really at the start, and then by the time you get to that bit, and it is a full blown sucker punch straight into your heart, straight into your soul. It goes from this is like the silly comedic character to we ride at dawn.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really plan for that to happen. It was just kind of you find your footing along the way, and I think that's what's so cool about doing this like long form improv sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. Because obviously you've got Ron, you've also got Scary and Trudy as well. Your character choices, they're often bold, chaotic, deeply emotional as well. And how much of that is like instinct versus like how much of it is like planning that you've kind of done with like Anthony or even Will in the new season to kind of go, right, here's a story, let's kind of come up with this? Or is sometimes you just kind of like throw into it and give them the trauma straight away?
This is a good question. I think with Ron, I was just like, what would be funny when we first did our kind of like I don't know how many people are aware of this, but we actually recorded the first episode and then we nixed it. The first episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard it on the Patreon, the Forgotten Pilot.
We re-recorded the first episode, or it was like a different episode. We just like have this lost episode essentially.
It's the famous one where you
and,
introduce yourself to say, oh, by the way, I'm Beth, I'm a girl, I'm playing a boy here, because you were like, you thought people wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Just in case.
It's
covering bases.
Yeah, and so there was none of the, I think the darkness was like present in who I was kind of basing Ron off of, but I don't think that there was like any pre like planning with the emotional core of Ron.
Yeah.
And then with Scary, I think I went in with too much emotional core, and I think I actually kind of rag on my performance as Scary a lot, but I do feel like I went in just trying to to find what I had found in Ron, but I went about it in a different way that didn't really work as well.
Yeah.
And so for Trudy, I tried to kind of go back to like what would be like the funniest, dumbest thing to play. And then, I don't know, maybe I'm like a bad feminist. A lot of what makes Trudy tragic was stuff that Will kind of pointed out and brought, because like I hadn't come in with the idea of like Tucker being like the inventor and stuff like, it's a lot of that stuff was stuff that Will came up with and just reflected back the tragedy at me. And that gave a lot of leeway for me to kind of build that character that way. And yeah, so I think that's kind of the right move for me, is just to think like, what's the funniest thing I can do, and then find the darkness within it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That sounds like a Batman line.
Yes, absolutely.
And I would say as well, you shouldn't rag on Scary too much, because like Scary is the most grounded, realistic character.
Yeah.
She's the one that a lot of the fans and everything like that there relate to within
I noticed that
season
too.
2.
And I really appreciate that people have found, that people appreciate her and like, have come to love her as a character. Because I struggled during that season with her, and so it's awesome to hear that.
Yeah, no, it is. It's awesome. And of course, the next question, right? Do you have a favorite arc or moment from the show that still makes you laugh, cry,
good one.
have emotions, anything like that? What's kind of like what stands out to you as like your favorite moments within the show?
So obviously, I don't know, just because I'm a glutton for crying. I have a shirt that says "I love crying." Like I'm a huge.
You're
crier.
in good company.
Yes.
You're in good company.
Yes, definitely.
So my first instinct is to say, the young Ron flashback stuff like that. But I think that there's.
I need the tissues already.
Don't no.
But I think that there's like a moment before that I'm actually more nostalgic for, which is the arc where Terry Jr. has found his like vampire dad, and that's that first like kind of like emotional monologue that Ron gives to Terry Jr. And it was so by the seat of my pants, and I had not really planned anything out, and it just felt like Anthony was giving me such a gift in that moment to explore the character in a way that I really hadn't before. And so I'm really nostalgic for that and that opportunity that kind of just came out of just hanging with my buds. And
Hell
so
yeah.
So I'll put you right. I'm going to go off script here, and I'm going to throw you a curveball question here, right?
All right.
Now the boys probably they might not listen to this. Will or Anthony, right? Who you liking better? Just now? So obviously, right? Anthony's done 2 full seasons.
Somebody's favorite
no, I can ask
DM
this.
is.
That's
Terrible.
Someone asked
so
it of
mean.
us.
That's really mean. Oh, come on.
They both get different styles and things like that there for it. How are you finding the change up between Anthony's very sort of, they're both very different. It's hard to describe how
100%.
Anthony and Will DM differently, but how do you kind of find it as the player dealing with a different DM?
I love them both. I'm not gonna sit here and say which one is I think is the better DM.
Because I would have clipped it. No,
Quite right. Let's not start fights.
Not that I know anyway. I'm like the worst D&D player in the world.
Come on.
I would say
Goodness,
they're both very generous, and Anthony would hate me saying this, but I don't think he'll listen to this. So in different ways. So Anthony, he's like, he gives you room to, he's like generous with the gaps, right? He'll give you something, and then he'll give you a lot of room to explore and bring back whatever you want to him, and he'll just roll with it, and he'll
it's the name of our podcast.
Yes. And Will's very generous with the story. Like he's got this very detailed tapestry of what he's weaving and like the themes within it. And so he knows that you'll be able to find something within that you can take and run with. So it's different, and it definitely feels a little more on the rails, so to speak, with Will. But it's not in a bad way at all. And I actually,
it's still got those segments where
only
it can go
Will
off.
could come up with something as creepy, but also as like quaint as Peachyville.
Yeah.
I think
It's
really
so
cool,
good. Yeah.
really cool setting. I love
Yeah.
it.
I am a
Brilliant.
massive fan of it. It's
Oh yeah.
gonna put my hands up. I've only listened to campaign 3, but I'm loving it. It is amazing.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm really glad to hear from people who have only listened to like one season. That's cool. Yeah, love that.
Definitely.
I think the next one needs to be is sorry, I'm going to slow down. I think the next one.
There we go.
Sorry, I'm going to get too fast again. The next one has to be is how does Dungeons and Daddies, if at all, like affect how you think about storytelling or acting or writing, like just from being on it and being a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what I said earlier a little bit is like I think it's given me so much more confidence in failure and like confidence in exploring things and like trying out the wrong thing and like and I don't know, not just to connect this to my show in Edinburgh. I think there's something to be said for like you can right the boat, like you can make the storm go away. You can kind of like you can come back from this, and it's like one slip up, one failure, something that didn't go right, it can go right again. And so it's, I think, having that freedom and that frankly the gift of time to be able to navigate like decisions that you're not 100% on, I think is such a gift. And in storytelling. And what's also cool about the podcast is that it is recorded. Like that did happen. And so, you kind of have to, you can't throw anything away. It's just, you have to kind of deal with it as it happens and then write it that way rather than just like, oh, I fucked up. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on this podcast.
Yeah.
It's a Glaswegian
Beth, we're
podcast.
Scottish, right?
Yeah.
You're going to learn some new curse words.
This
when
is
you're
the
over here for a
most
month, okay?
well-behaved and well-spoken we've been in weeks.
Yeah.
So
Okay, fabulous.
curse
So
away.
it's not like I fucked up, I'm going to throw the whole thing away. I'm going to start
Yeah.
from page 1 because you can't do that. It's
No.
already been written. But, it's just, it's a cool way. It's a really cool way to tell stories. And I love collaborating with people. And I didn't realize that I was such a glutton for collaboration until I started doing this podcast.
there we go.
Definitely.
So like I say, I've only listened to campaign 3. So Trudy is the only one of your characters that I am aware of currently. I will be going back and listening to everything else eventually, but catching up on things, it's a nightmare. But yeah, so Trudy is a really cool character. I don't want to spoil it for Connor because he's not seen campaign 3.
Headphones off.
But Trudy being a robot. That's wild. How much do you, when you make your character, how much do you like sort of going totally wild, totally something that's not even a little bit like you in real life, and how much do you sort of like pulling a little bit of reality into it?
I love this question, and I'm gonna give you like the most pretentious answer.
Okay,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
Pretentiousness.
Yeah.
Oh, we love pretentious. You're going to Edinburgh. Edinburgh is the home of pretentious.
Yeah, come on.
absolutely.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You
I
get
grew up
crash
there,
course.
Beth.
Yeah.
You couldn't be. So there's an old joke in Edinburgh where a creche and a creche is the same thing in Edinburgh. It's not the same thing. Sorry. Because a creche is obviously somewhere you put like a small child as like daycare, but a creche is also a car accident because that's how pretentious they are.
Okay, awesome.
The other line,
Took me a
There's
second.
been a crash.
the other
been a
line
crash.
is also if someone from Glasgow goes over to Edinburgh, they can say even the clocks sound pretentious.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah. We literally have a massive cannon that they set off at 1 o'clock to let everyone know,
It's
right,
1 o'clock.
time for lunch.
Yeah.
Up the road.
So
Yeah.
please
Okay,
be
that's
as
great.
pretentious as you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm not
I'm
stop
in
you.
good company.
Absolutely.
I think that like as far away as you're getting from who you think you are as a character, you're still playing an element of yourself. They teach you in acting school that in order to play a villain, you have to kind of not empathize with what they're doing, but empathize with something that happened to them or where they're coming from, and in order to be able to kind of get there. And I think that no matter like how kooky a character you're playing, there's got to be like you know, there are those traits in all of us, and so it's
Gotcha.
kind of cool just kind of highlighting which ones that sound interesting to this character, and kind of hiding the rest. And you know, but to bring it back down to earth, I'll say I really like doing silly voices, and so whenever there's a character where I can do a silly voice and the guys won't make fun of me too much, I will absolutely do that. So yeah.
Hell
No,
yeah.
I am a massive fan of Trudy. I think the way that like
The
a
story's
50s
kinda
housewife,
weird.
but also
Robot.
Yes.
robot. Is,
What a combo.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a really cool sort of way to take that character, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
And then Beth, you obviously mentioned that a lot of characters need to find some sort of empathy and some element of their personality or something.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a dream character or even a genre that you want to set a character into that you haven't played yet
Oh, I like
that you
that.
think that's super exciting to me? I'm bang up for that.
Let's see. I think, well, you know, I don't think this is too much of a spoiler because I think we've said it on the podcast, but our next season we're playing grandparents.
Hell
Oh,
yeah!
yes.
I'm super stoked about that.
Dynamite.
I think there's there's a lot of fun stuff to explore and stuff. So I'm actually very amped about that. And yeah, the setting for the next season is really cool too. And so yeah, I'm amped about what we're doing next. And then I don't know. I feel like if we ever get so far that we're doing like kind of like rip off of, you know, existing shows, kind of settings, like it would be really fun to do like kind of one of my favorite shows is Lost. I'm a big
Hell
Lost
yeah.
fan.
Oh,
And so to
man.
do like kind of like a Castaway kind of, you know,
Ooh.
Survivor-esque.
That would be dynamite.
Oh, Survivor
be a
D&D
cool
would be
thing, so-
sick.
Can
That'd
you
be so much
imagine?
fun.
Oh, that'd be class.
Yeah, just as like an extra question in here, Beth. So when you're going to play your granny character, what's your granny candy? Like every granny,
Oh, yeah, nice one.
Yeah.
like every granny gives out like a wee sweetie or something whenever you come round, or a biscuit, like a cookie or something like that. What's your granny sweetie? What's your granny candy?
I'm actually playing a granddad.
Oh, okay.
Season, and I think his go-to is gonna be like sardines.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just
Okay.
sardines.
Tin of sardines.
That's some sardines for you, son.
That'll get some iron in
Get
you.
some iron in you. Oh, dear.
No,
Awesome.
That's incredible.
Granny Pat never gave you a sweetie.
No.
Granny Pat would give you a £1 coin and tell you no to tell your mum. That's what I got.
My Grandpa Johnny give me a handful of coppers.
Handful of coppers? Look at a
Handful
pound.
yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
Pennies.
This is all very Scottish now.
Sorry,
We're
sorry.
getting there. We'll reel in.
Now you're sending me back to my grandma's house where she had this like jar of Hershey's Kisses, and then she would
yeah.
she would know that I would eat all the kisses, but she'd be like, you know, we had this ghost sneak in last night who ate all of the Hershey's Kisses. And I don't know. I don't know who
nice.
got them.
Grannies are the best collaborators to crime.
Yes.
that?
So good.
Shout out to grannies.
Yeah.
Man.
They also are. So, question that I've got here. So, obviously, you collab with the boys. You got Anthony, Matt, Will, and Freddie on the show. Now, Matt, Freddie, and Will, they had their own podcast before Story Break. You were a guest on that, and I love it. They three have the chemistry, but the three of them also have very large, loud personalities.
Yep.
Two of them in particular, we won't say which two. But I think, you know. What advice would you give to someone who could potentially like join a table like that where like there is people that have those loud personalities compared to someone who's a little bit more reserved, a little bit more quiet? Like what advice would you give to someone to kind of like deal with situations like that?
For sure. I think, you know, it's like there's a difference between being like naturally loud and boisterous, and then also like there's a difference between that and being like an asshole who actually wants to talk over other people.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, none of the boys are like
No, that's true. Yeah.
assholes. And so I think when I was first getting to know them, you know, they've been all working together for years, and I was just kind of new to the group, and I think they, you know, gave me some more space to like to articulate my thoughts and stuff, because I am a little more, you know, in certain situations reserved by nature, and And then I found it to be a very big compliment, actually, when they started yelling around me and like trying to talk over, and like, you know, it was just kind of like, okay, I'm one of the boys now.
Yeah.
But I think for anybody going into a table like that, like what I advocate for in any D&D group is like nothing has to happen in character. You can talk to them as people and be like, hey, I'm kind of quiet, so like whenever I'm kind of figuring something out, like if you guys could just give me like a little bit more time to figure out what I'm saying in character, or figure out what I'm thinking through and stuff, that I would really appreciate it. And if they're decent people, they'll be like, absolutely, sure, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody needs that kind of extra minute sometimes. So yeah.
Hell yeah. That's really good advice.
Solid
Yeah.
advice.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Beth, like, obviously, you've got the show and things like that there for it. Have you played much D&D kind of outside the show? Did you play it before when you were like a kid growing up and things like that there for it? Or was like Dungeons and Daddies like your first deep dive into the kind of...
I've
whole thing?
played it one time outside of the podcast, and it wasn't D&D. It was a weird one-shot homebrew kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so my first time playing D&D was the beginning of season 1.
Mad.
Wicked.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get in trouble for saying this sometimes, because it's because nobody wants to hear this from somebody who
Don't get in
plays
trouble.
D&D
If anyone's
professionally.
giving you in
But
trouble, we'll fight them.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
there's a mathiness to it, a kind of a structure to it that doesn't always work well with my brain, and so
That's fair.
I just I struggle with it, the nitty gritty of it, which is evident if you ever listen to the podcast. But I think also working with people who are as adept with it, it kind of covers my ass, and so that makes it really nice. And so so I'll keep doing this podcast like forever, as we'll run it into the ground for sure. But I'm not always. It does feel like work, is what I'll say.
Sure.
To play D&D, it does feel like work for me.
Yeah. That's interesting, because that'll be like work for you compared to like a hobby for us that
Yeah.
then became
It
work.
kind of became work by accident,
Yeah.
on purpose. Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
That
I
was
like
it.
that.
It became a job out of spite as well. Most
Yeah, because
So
someone's got to DM, and
Yeah.
it has to be the four
It
of us.
has to be
so-
us.
Yeah.
Usually us, yeah.
No, that's fantastic. So, Beth, like that was kind of most of the questions that we've got for you today. You've been absolutely fantastic.
Yes. It's
What
been brilliant.
give you the floor again for some final sort of plugs. So, where can we find and catch your Fringe show?
For sure. So, Beth Wants The D is at the Pleasance Courtyard in the Baby Grand. It is 1:45 p.m. or 13:45, and I will be there for the full run. So, July 30th through August 24th.
Yeah.
And
Pleasance Courtyard's one of the biggest sort of main ones
Yeah.
of
Yeah, it's
the
awesome.
Fringe as
Awesome.
well.
It's really
Brilliant
good.
venue.
It's one of the best ones. So yeah, you got
yeah,
it.
I'm super stoked,
Kinda
and
nailed it.
I know I'm in good company there, and yeah, I mean, if you see me out and about, I'm planning to. I love juggling, and so I'm planning to ship some
I've seen the
juggling
videos.
clubs over to Edinburgh when I'm there and
Awesome.
practice my
Hell
clubs,
yeah.
because I'm not as good at clubs.
Awesome.
And so if you see me out and about, or you see a doofus juggling clubs poorly in the park or whatever, you feel free to say hi, and I'm just happy to be there, and to be sharing this show that I'm really truly proud of, and we have this incredible team behind me, not behind me, with me, and really like lifting me up, like absolutely. I'm the the top of the pyramid, but the bottom is the most important part,
Absolutely.
because you need bread.
Aye.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
as simple as that.
No, but I am truly inspired and absolutely saved every day by my producer Allison, my director Riley, and my co-producer / dog Hamlet, which will be a very important part of the show.
Yes.
That's Olivia. The show is called Beth Wants The D, and I hope you check it out.
Definitely.
Definitely. Cannot wait.
And if you don't, I'll come find you.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Like Taken.
Sort you out.
Yeah.
What
So
were you?
final question, right? If you had to sum up your Fringe show on, like, you've rolled a natural 20, what's the critical hit? What's the best success you can get from this show?
Ooh.
I think like dream upon dreams come true, I would get more attention on this feature script that I wrote that I would like to, be produced someday. But I honestly, like, when I'm being a little more realistic and also just kind of like going with the flow, I think I just want to meet like some like wonderful people from places I normally wouldn't be like seeing people. And I think I'm just gonna build a wonderful like community and just meet a lot of cool people doing cool stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh god,
You're going to the right place
Yeah,
for
the
it.
Fringe is just a
Yeah.
big melting mixing pot of
Absolutely.
just everything.
Wonderful people.
Especially the Pleasance Courtyard, because that is just...
Yeah, that's like one of the big venues. That's
Yeah.
class.
It's one of my favourite ones to go to just to have a pint. and
Yeah,
just sit there.
Yeah.
absolutely. Even when
It's
Fringe
like-
isn't on.
Yeah, you can just sit there and go, right, oh, okay, that show's finishing up. Right, cool, I'll jump into this one. And it's
Cool.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can luckily get tickets and things like that there every now and again. So it's
Yeah,
it's
I'm
quite good.
super stoked, and yeah, I mean, like, obviously I have these like industry pipe dreams or whatever, but most importantly, I'm just happy to be there with people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what's most
Not just
important.
that, we're happy that you've chose to come over and
Exactly.
put the show on
Totally,
here
yeah.
in
Exactly.
Edinburgh as well. But yeah, we won't keep you much longer, Beth. We know you've got a busy schedule, but thank you so much for coming.
Big
on.
ups, Beth May.
And joining
Thank you
us.
so
Beth
much.
May.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a total blast.
You. Oh.
Well,
Easy peeps.
Aye.
there's no much more else to say, really, is there?
Is Beth May one of the coolest people ever?
She
Absolutely.
Holy hell.
may well be. We're back to the swearing again. We were nice and polite during
Sorry.
that bit.
Oh, gosh darn it.
Gosh
Darn it.
darn
Gosh,
gee
gosh.
golly.
One of the
Yes.
best, one of
Darn it.
the best flipping people I've ever met in my crunchy life. Oh, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, what did
is.
they say in Battlestar Galactica? Is it no
Frack.
It's Frack.
Frack,
Yeah,
yeah.
Frack.
Yeah.
We need to start doing that.
Frack.
You got Karkin from the Warhammer.
Do you know what my
universe.
favorite? One of my favorite.
I think I've got a Battlestar Galactica TTRPG somewhere.
Battlestar's sick. I love Battlestar. One of my favorite like
So say we all.
edits of a film is Hot Fuzz's clean version
Yes,
that
it's
they
so
had to
funny.
do for like planes because
Amazing.
Jesus Christ becomes peas and rice.
That's
Yeah.
Cheese and
amazing.
rice, it's so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I seen Clean Shaun of the Dead.
yeah.
Which is
Same
fucking
thing.
it's so funny because
Yeah.
obviously, like in the first 5 minutes, you've got Nick Frost being like, "Can I get any of you cunts a drink?" It's fucking brilliant straight away.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course, of course.
I'm absolutely buzzing. Greg W has just had to been pulled off the ceiling.
Literally,
Yeah.
literally.
Holy hell, that
I
was
sent
so
that
cool.
email and I had no idea that Beth would say yes.
Yeah, that was so cool. Some
Come
fucking
on.
really good advice as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
brilliant.
Unbelievable
Brilliant
advice.
chat.
Really good advice.
Great chat. If you haven't checked it out, go check out Dungeons and Daddies, the podcast, available where all good podcasts are from.
Do yourself a favour.
Yeah, it's genuinely my favourite
good.
of the live play podcasts. But if you are in Scotland and are
Doesn't matter if you're in Scotland.
Scotland or not,
Just
make
go.
your way
Get a
over.
fucking plane.
Come to the Edinburgh
Airfare
Fringe.
exists.
Beth Wants The D at the Pleasance Courtyard. She's in the Baby Grand.
Yeah.
She's going to be there all month long. Pop in, see the one woman show.
We're going.
Absolutely unbelievable. All of us are going.
We're all going.
Cannot wait for it. It was the first ticket I bought for the Fringe this year. It was that. And
I think this will actually be Connor's first time at the Fringe.
I'm going to be my first time at the Fringe because
Fringe virginity.
Well, I had Glasgow superiority when it came to Edinburgh for a while until I started hanging out there, and I was like, you know what?
Well, that's just you doing in my estimations then.
I can't help it. It's not my fault. Perfect. But no, I remember seeing all the videos of like folk who lived there and like
Yeah.
filming their street during the Fringe. I'm like,
Yeah.
that looks shite.
I mean,
The busyness looks shite. The actual shows,
Yeah.
the quality of the shows,
Do you know
and
what
the
it
gigs
is?
and stuff, that looks
It's-
fucking awesome.
yeah.
it's really good pattern.
yeah. Do you know what it is though?
I
It's
love
like I get where the like folk that live in the city centre are coming from. It's
Yeah.
an absolute right. Your entire day's ruined. You can't even
Course.
get nipped to the shops because there's hundreds of folk about. But see if you're there for the Fringe,
Aye.
it's class.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Like
As a
coming out of
player-
one show, going straight into another one, you just be like, "Oh, who's on now? Oh,
'Cause
this person."
You get
Alright,
like
I'll go and see
you
them.
get these like celebrity kind of like ideals that all right, I'm not going to see them until they're on stage and then that's them.
Yeah.
You get the comedians that you're going to see out in the street flying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they've got airs and graces about it.
I met I met freaking somebody from American Horror Story last year at the Fringe.
Yeah,
I was
Somebody.
like, somebody.
Like
I don't know.
I was
I
there
don't know who
last.
it was.
I was there
really
last
bad.
year.
You're killing
and
this.
I know.
I was there last year and was playing the MC Hammersmith, who's an incredible comedian.
Awesome.
And he was just out flying. He's like, all right,
Unbelievable.
did you come to my show? I'm like, I might do
Yeah.
now, because you're sound. So,
So I fear
Aye.
this may be our longest episode of the podcast, and it is well deserved because we
I mean,
wanted to get
Aye. I mean, if
Beth
there was
as
going to
much
be
time
an
as
episode
possible.
that would run over, it's got to be this one. I mean, we did
Yeah.
think it was going to be Tart and Tabletop, but weirdly, they were very well behaved.
Mm-hmm.
Shout
Yeah.
out Tart and Tabletop, we love you, Hunnels.
yeah, well, yeah, speaking of the Fringe, the boys are
also
boys
there at
and
Fringe as
Lauren.
well.
Yes.
I know a bunch of us are going as well.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
we are descending upon Edinburgh.
Watch you, Edinburgh.
We're coming for you, but
Um,
please go check out Beth May.
Well, yeah, Leaf became
Um,
gentrified, so all the hard boys that I know are all away. So yeah, you're fine.
Absolutely.
Do yourself a favour. Beth Wants The D, that's the name of the show.
Yeah.
Get ahead and go look at it. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Get
And
there,
you'll
get
probably
it.
you'll probably see us there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you
Holy
do, come and
shit.
say hello.
Yes.
Please do.
But yeah. Anyone got anything to plug other than Beth's show? I mean, we've
Just roll with it.
Yeah,
Just
just
roll
In
with it.
general, just us.
Which,
Just being
by the
sound.
way, if
We're
nobody
pretty
if nobody's familiar with what Roll Weight do yet, and
And
fucking hell, you
who
should
we
you,
are.
you should
we are
be,
11 episodes in now. If
You
you're
should be
not
by now.
familiar, I
But-
mean, this might be your first episode.
This
It
might be
could
your
well
first
be.
episode.
Which if it
Hi.
is,
Hi.
hi up.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hello.
I
How's it going?
apologise for all the swearing.
I
Normally
don't.
it's me that does the swearing, but Connor just takes it rapid today.
I don't, right?
Yeah, me neither.
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm a product of my upbringing, and I do not swear.
Well,
with any-
Connor,
Which is very funny
know
because
what?
his mum shouts at him when he swears. So
Yeah, it's
product
true.
of
But
well,
your
in the
upbringing.
same vein, Trisha Fallon swears like fuck.
That is
Connor,
True.
Love you,
Connor,
man.
Connor.
Yes.
Who are we? What do we do?
We are Roll It. We do a series, a never-ending, seemingly series of TTRPG and one-shot TTRPG nights in and around the Greater Glasgow area and various bars and venues like the fantastic Variety Bar, where we are coming from, quote-unquote, live right now. Hello, get yourself to the Variety Bar. Is it the best pub in Sauchiehall Street? Yeah, it's pretty fair to say.
Yeah.
Fight me, I don't care. But yes, we are welcoming of all creeds and all sorts of people. If you've never played a TTRPG before, if you've only ever seen it in Stranger Things, if you've been playing for years and you've just not played in a while, you know, that's what we're all about. We don't
Absolutely.
just play D&D, we play a shit ton of other kind of systems and
Yep.
stuff. Which is kind of, well, we're kind of playing that more than we're playing D&D.
Yeah.
Definitely,
And we
definitely.
also
Even I'm getting that way.
we
Yep.
also do like traditional sort of board gaming nights and takeover days as well. So if you're even a little bit tabletop inclined, if you're a little bit sort of curious, if you're just looking for something a wee bit different to do, come hang out with us.
Yeah,
Yes,
We're,
absolutely.
please.
we're honestly pretty nice.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
pretty
you
good,
can
we're
find
pretty
out
good.
all the info you want on Instagram, Facebook, in our Discord, or
Get in the Discord.
rollwit.co.uk. That's
Yep.
ROLLWIT.co.uk.
Amazing.
Get in the Discord.